All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Gimme 5 time, and you're going to love this because I love it, and if I love it, you're going to love it. Okay, so the news over the weekend until the horrific bombings was Donald Trump, birther, Obama, born in Kenya, birther. It just doesn't end. When they have nothing, they go back to this nonsense. So Trump says, okay, Obama was born here. Well, that's not good enough for the media. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present to you things right now that I'm very worried about. I'm worried that the Trump people, the surrogates that talk on the TV shows, the Trump campaign itself, they're not telling you what I'm about to tell you. And that worries the heck out of me. Worries the heck out of me. If I know this, shouldn't they know it? And if they know it, why aren't they educating the American public? First of all, who started this Obama birther nonsense? Well, let's listen to Hillary's campaign person talking about 08.
The campaign nor Hillary did not start the birther movement, period, end of the story there. There was a volunteer coordinator, I believe, in late 2007, I think in December, one of our volunteer coordinators in one of the counties in Iowa. I don't recall whether they were an actual paid staffer, but they did forward an email that promoted the conspiracy.
The birther conspiracy?
Yeah.
So it was a Clinton staffer in 07 that forwarded an email around promoting the birther conspiracy. End of story. Wasn't Donald Trump that started it? That's number one. Okay, then now listen to this.
Hillary made the decision immediately to let that person go. We let that person go. And it was so, beyond the pale, Wolf, and, so not worthy of the kind of campaign that certainly Hillary wanted to run, or that we as a staff wanted to run, that I called David Plouffe, who was obviously managing Barack Obama's campaign in 07, to apologize and basically say that this was not coming from us. It was a rogue volunteer coordinator, and this was not the kind of campaign we wanted to run.
Baloney. All right, so we've established that the birther stuff started with a rogue Trump campaign person who Hillary fired immediately. There's a problem with that. And I hope you're listening, Trump campaign. I really hope so. There's a big problem with that. McClatchy News Service, a gentleman named James Asher, talking now about how in 08, Sid Blumenthal, Hillary's confidant, said, hey, you should check out Obama. He was born in Kenya. Really? Watch. Here, I'll read it to you. Here it is. Put it up. This is James Asher talking to McClatchy. During that meeting, Mr. Blumenthal and I met together in my office, and he strongly urged me to investigate the exact place of President Obama's birth, which he suggested was in Kenya. We assigned a reporter to go to Kenya, and that reporter determined that the allegation was false. At the time of Mr. Blumenthal's conversation with me, there had been a few news articles published in various outlets reporting on rumors about Obama's birthplace. While Mr. Blumenthal offered no concrete proof of Obama's Kenyan birth, I felt that, as journalists, we had a responsibility to determine whether or not those rumors were true. They were not. So let me get this straight. Patty Solis Doyle says, I was a rogue campaign worker in 07, and we fired them. But then in 08, February of 08, Sidney Blumenthal starts whispering, psst, psst, Obama was born in Kenya. You should check it out. Now, you could say he didn't work on the campaign. He's Hillary's bosom buddy. Give me a break. This is blockbuster. And I'm the only one telling you this. I wish the Clinton campaign was telling you this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Let's move on to this picture. Remember this picture? Yeah, that was in 08 as well. Now, you might think Donald Trump's responsible for that too. No. It was the Clinton campaign who put it out. Let's listen. Here's what the aforementioned Plouffe, who ran Hillary's campaign back then, had to say about this picture. Could we put it up?
on the very day that Senator Clinton is giving a speech, this is in '08, on restoring respect for America in the world, her campaign has engaged in the most shameful, offensive, fear-mongering we've seen from either party in this election. This is the part of a disturbing pattern that led her county chairs to resign in Iowa, her campaign chairman to resign in New Hampshire, and it's exactly the kind of divisive politics that turns away Americans of all parties and diminishes respects for America in the world. David Plouffe talking about the Clinton campaign in '08, who they say put out that picture. Now, this came up in a debate with Brian Williams. That's when he was still Brian Williams, before we knew he was making everything up. And he's moderating a debate between Hillary and Obama. This is priceless. Watch.
The photo went out on the website, The Drudge Report, showing Senator Obama in the native garb of a nation he was visiting, as you have done in a host country on a trip overseas. Matt Drudge on his website said it came from a source inside the Clinton campaign. Can you say unequivocally here tonight it did not?
Well, so far as I know, it did not. And I certainly know nothing about it and have made clear that that's not the kind of behavior that I condone or expect from the people working in my campaign. But we have no evidence where it came from.
Does this sound a little familiar? That's what she says about the email. That's what she says about everything. There's no evidence. We have no evidence. Can you unequivocally say that this did not come from your campaign? Well, as far as I know, which is the same thing, by the way, she said in video, which I played you before, when confronted, but you're not saying Obama's a Muslim, are you? Well, not as far as I know, she said in '08. This woman is in it up to here. Blumenthal, all of them, the staffer, they started this, as David Plouffe alluded to. Why doesn't the Trump campaign put this stuff out? Why haven't they put out the Jesse Jackson video that I played for you, showing him praising the heck out of Donald Trump? If he doesn't do all this, he's missing a great opportunity. And I hope they heed my advice. Now, in case you missed it, Hollywood, the left, last night used the Emmy Awards to bash Donald Trump. Let's run it.
After careful consideration, I decided I'm going with Trump, which is why I'm also recommending we get rid of all Muslim and Hispanic nominees from the ceremony immediately. Wow, this would be so much easier if we were at the Oscars.
If you are a person of color in our audience tonight, especially if you're a nominee, please find a white person right now. Go ahead. It shouldn't be hard. I see a bunch of them right here. Just take a moment to reach out and say thanks for your bravery.
I think that Veep has torn down the wall between comedy and politics. Our show started out as a political satire, but it now feels more like a sobering documentary. So I certainly do promise to rebuild that wall and make Mexico pay for it.
Hillary Clinton called me in the last few minutes that I would personally thank Jimmy Kimmel for an extra free 5 minutes of ABC network publicity for Donald Trump.